The land commonly referred to as Palestine is called Eretz Israel by many Jews, meaning the land of Israel. The name Palestine originated during the Roman era, but Jews had been living in this land long before that. When Jews refer to Eretz Israel, it is often imbued with strong religious and sacred significance. According to Jewish belief, this land was given by God to the Jewish people. Hence, it is called the Promised Land. Biblical roots. According to the Bible, God Yahweh said to Abraham, the ancestor of the Jews living in the Mesopotamian region, "Leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation and bless you." Following God's command, Abraham moved from Ur to Canaan, Palestine. Later, God appeared to him again and promised to give this land to his descendants. The religion and history of ancient Jews are closely intertwined with the land of Palestine. Early Hebrews lived and thrived here, made a covenant with their God, founded Judaism, established their own state, built temples to worship God, wrote the Bible and the Talmud, and fought fiercely against foreign powers. Although Jews were later forced to disperse around the world, they never forgot their homeland. In Jewish rituals, festivals, and daily prayers, Eretz Israel, Mount Zion, and Jerusalem are frequently mentioned, making this attachment a fundamental part of Jewish faith and culture. The holy city for Jews. All of Palestine symbolizes their historical and spiritual victory, with Jerusalem holding a particularly special status, known as the Holy of Holies. When King David unified the tribes of Israel, he chose Jerusalem as his capital and called it the City of David. His son Solomon built a magnificent temple there to worship God Yahweh, housing the Ark of the Covenant inscribed with the Ten Commandments. Solomon's temple was later destroyed by the Babylonians, but upon returning, the Jews spent 20 years rebuilding the second temple on the same site. In the 1st century CE, the Romans conquered Palestine and brutally suppressed Jewish uprisings. Jerusalem was once again leveled, and the Second Temple was destroyed. Jews were forced to leave Palestine, dispersing east and west. Yet, Jerusalem remained the spiritual center for Jews wherever they went. As Psalm 137 expresses, "How can we sing the Lord's song in a foreign land?" Many religious customs reference Jerusalem, including wedding blessings, funeral rites, and even closing lines of letters that often read, "Pray for Jerusalem." The Western Wall, although the diaspora Jews could not rebuild the temple, a wall was constructed from stones of the original temple ruins. A 48-meter-long, 18.9-meter-high structure known as the Western Wall or the Wailing Wall. It is considered the holiest site where Jews are permitted to pray, as the Temple Mount itself is often restricted by religious law. During religious festivals, Jews gather here to pray, recite scripture, and remember their ancestors and the suffering endured over centuries. Jerusalem also preserves numerous Jewish religious sites, including the Temple Mount, the City of David, King David's tomb, and the tombs of the prophets. Modern development. In the late 19th century, the Zionist movement emerged, and Jews began migrating from Europe to Palestine, increasing the Jewish population in Jerusalem. As the old city became overcrowded, new neighborhoods developed outside the walls, near the Jaffa Gate, forming the New City or West Jerusalem, while the walled Old City was called East Jerusalem. After Israel's founding, housing, schools, hospitals, shops, and offices were built in the new city, with wide streets and parks transforming the once barren hills into a thriving urban area. A city of three faiths, however, Jerusalem is not only sacred to Jews, it is also a holy city for Christianity and Islam. For Christians, Jesus was born, suffered, and was crucified here. For Muslims, Jerusalem is the third holiest city after Mecca and Medina, where Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven and received divine revelation. Over the centuries, countless conflicts erupted among various religious groups. and the city was ruled successively by Jews, Persians, Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, Arabs, European Crusaders, Turks, and the British. The Old City of Jerusalem is surrounded by walls with 8 gates and divided into 4 quarters: the Muslim quarter in the northeast, the Christian quarter in the northwest, the Jewish quarter in the southeast, and the Armenian quarter in the southwest. The political struggle. The UN's 1947 partition plan proposed an international administration for Jerusalem, but it was never implemented. After the 1949 Arab-Israeli War, the city was effectively divided, the east under Jordanian control and the west under Israeli control. In the 1967 Six-Day War, Israel captured East Jerusalem and gradually expanded the city to 70 square kilometers, achieving legal and geographic unity. In 1980, Israel passed the Basic Law declaring a united Jerusalem as its permanent capital. International recognition and the embassy moved for decades. The international community did not recognize this annexation. The UN Security Council adopted Resolution 478, calling on countries to withdraw diplomatic missions from Jerusalem. Consequently, most embassies remained in Tel Aviv. However, a major shift occurred in 2018 when the United States officially moved its embassy to Jerusalem, recognizing it as Israel's capital, while several other nations followed suit. The vast majority of the international community still maintains their embassies in Tel Aviv, awaiting a final peace agreement. The path forward. Palestinian Arabs strongly oppose Israel's annexation and declaration of Jerusalem as its capital, pledging to reclaim the city. The Palestine Liberation Organization explicitly aimed to establish a Palestinian state, with East Jerusalem as its capital. In 1993, Israel and the PLO reached a peace agreement, and Palestinians gradually gained autonomy in the West Bank and Gaza. However, their positions on Jerusalem remain far apart, leaving the issue for future negotiations. Jerusalem is a city of international significance, with 3 major religions leaving indelible holy sites. Jews and Arabs are the city's primary residents, and neither side can ignore the other's presence or rights. Many international observers believe that a rational and pragmatic solution must recognize Jerusalem's multiple attributes. Finding a political arrangement that respects the historical and religious rights of both peoples remains the only path to lasting peace. There is reason to believe that, through sustained effort, the nearly century-long dispute over Jerusalem can eventually be resolved.